Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thanks for joining me today. I'm here with a Sensational Scorpio June Horoscope. Okay, so a bit of a mixed bag this month, dear Scorpio, because some areas of your life will actually slow down. We have a lot of retrograding planets this month, and I will talk about those in a moment. But there's also some challenges too to look at, and you may find that as far as travel and broadening your life generally, you might start to look into that and become more interested in the outside world and doing things externally because there's a whole wide world out there and you want a part of it. Okay, so as I was saying, some retrograding planets, and let's have a look at those now. If you are new, subscribe and be alive, and that would be fabulous. Okay, so there's a lot to get through. I'll look at these retrogrades and an eclipse we've got happening. Then I'll draw some tarot cards for you, 2 cards, because they're working well with the horoscope. We'll have a look at that in depth, and stick around till the end. I'll do some psychic channeling, whatever comes through. So the first thing, the solar eclipse on the 10th of June in Gemini is in your 9th house of career. And so this does bring your focus to travel, foreign connections, and maybe even higher learning or study. It is the house of the higher mind, so you may set about expanding your life. New seeds are being planted now, so if you're not doing what you really love, there may be a change in your life direction coming up. The effects of the solar eclipse can take place for up to 6 months, so do bear this in mind. But whatever happens this month in June will change your life in some way. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Mercury's retrograde from the 29th of May through to the 21st of June in Gemini in your 8th house. So you need to be a little bit careful how you communicate, especially around intimacy and jointly held assets. Okay, there's also 10 days either side of the 29th of May and the 21st of June where the energy is sort of coming on and then going off. That's called the shadow period. And so if you have important decisions or contracts to sign, even in that shadow period, as well as when Mercury is retrograde, maybe you can put that off. If you can't, that's okay, sign away, but do know that you may need to go back and revisit decisions that you make in this time period, because sometimes things change when, you know, planets turn direct. Okay, so these new seeds I was talking about, you know, Mercury might have some fun with those at the moment, but do make sure all your contracts have their T's crossed and their I's dotted, so there's no miscommunications. If you are signing something, it's probably better to get a professional to look over because 2 minds are better than 1. Watch for misunderstandings generally. Be cautious and act slowly after double checking important decisions. Maybe you just want to think about things for a while. Jupiter is retrograde 20th of June to the 18th of October, starting in Pisces, ending up in Aquarius in your 5th house. Now Neptune's also retrograde there from the 25th of June to the 1st of December. And you may become aware there's some sort of dissonance going on regarding your creativity. Perhaps there are issues with children also, or your own inner child demands more attention. Your energy might slow down, and, you know, maybe it's time for a bit of a rest and a break. Your romantic life could also slow down. Maybe there's not much happening there at the moment. That's okay. Jupiter retrograde is a great time to think about changing your diet, however, because with Jupiter normally everything it touches it makes bigger, but if you don't want to be bigger, when it's retro, things are actually going backwards. It's like winding back the clock, so to speak. So this could improve your confidence and have an indirect spin-off in your romantic life. Saturn is retrograde from the 23rd of May through to the 10th of October in Aquarius in your 4th house of home and family. So that brings perhaps delays or issues around your home or family. If you're buying, selling and relocating, could be some delays, sorry. But it's only temporary. Don't be overly concerned. Just make sure that, everything has a structure. That's what Saturn really loves, a structure, a contract, things laid out, spelled out. It's, you have to have some self-discipline and check everything regarding your home. And it could also be quite a time as far as your family is concerned. Maybe you were expecting some family members or somebody to pay a visit, and now there's a delay. There could be something going on with your children's schedule, for example. There's the possibility of an issue with an authority such as a local council or government agency regarding money, taxes, that sort of thing, and maybe it involves your home or your family. 31st of May to the 3rd of June, Mars conjuncts Mars. All right, let's have a look at the board. And before we do that, we'll actually draw these 2 tarot cards before we get to Mars conjuncts Mars. Okay, so the cards, I'm going to go with that one on top. Lots of green, the forest. Sometimes it's easy to be confused by a forest. You can't see the wood for the trees. There's too much of something so that it becomes overwhelming and a bit confusing. The card that comes up is the 7 of Cups. All right, this is about you standing your ground. And, maybe you need to be a little bit assertive on some points. It does indicate a search for attainment and knowledge, maybe even riches. However, sometimes your imagination is right in on this, and, you might not see clearly. You can't see the wood for the trees, in other words. Yeah, so stand your ground, be firm, be grounded, okay? Don't let your emotions run away with you. You don't normally, although you feel things intensely, you don't normally let your emotions run away too much. Okay, this one's just jumped out, and it's the 4 of Cups. Perhaps there's some issue in the past that comes back. Your memories sort of triggered around an old relationship, perhaps, because, see, this is a red rose, could be a romantic relationship, and there was a very pure spiritual connection between you, but maybe things didn't work out the way that you hoped. But if you focus on, your spiritual life and deal with those memories or those feelings that come up, and forgive the other person and forgive yourself, most importantly, forgive yourself, you'll be able to, get a silver lining to this card. You'll be able to realise that the situation, as unpleasant as it was, it helped you grow as a person in some way. Okay, so there's growth there because she's got green, and there's green in the leaves of these cups. These cups all have leaves growing, and these roses have leaves growing. So there's growth there for you. Okay, so bear those 2 cards in mind, and now I'll make it a little bit bigger so that you can see what's going on. And we're back to Mars conjuncting Mars, 31st of May to the 3rd of June. Okay, it's time for you to be independent. Make a fresh start, strike out on your own. You may have more energy, willpower, and even courage. Channel your abundant energy into action or vigorous work, because if you don't do that, you're going to have this excess energy. It could cause some incidents or some accidents. I'm not saying that will happen, but I'm just saying, if you feel full of energy, go for a walk in the morning. 1st of June to the 26th of June, Venus in your 9th house. Okay, so Venus moves into your 9th house, and you could be attracted to foreign cultures and experiences that are different from anything you've encountered in the past. The exotic and the unknown have much more appeal to you now. It's a great time for a break, particularly if you can travel to some place that you've never been before. Also, sharing and comparing your spiritual or religious ideas with somebody close to you may open up a whole new dimension of your relationship. It's hard to travel, I know, but maybe you're thinking about planning, or you're thinking about the future where you may be able to travel to a foreign country. 3rd of June to the 7th of June, Mars opposition Pluto. So you might be feeling very ambitious at the moment, but perhaps your goals could be challenged. Other people or external forces may seem to undermine your efforts. Maybe you need to stand up for yourself, perhaps in a David and Goliath type situation. If you have been selfish in some way, karma could come calling. Okay, so remember this card, the 7 of Cups, that's about you asserting yourself. Okay, standing up for your position. 2nd of June to the 7th of June, Mercury squares Neptune. Now remember, Mercury's retrograde from the 29th of May to the 21st of June. So your mental clarity and your ability to separate fact from fiction could decrease now. Miscommunications and an ability to formulate your ideas are likely. Your mind could be wandering, and this can be a time of creative reverie or daydreaming. Avoid making binding contracts at this time, but do spend time in meditation and examine your dreams. 10th of June, solar eclipse in your 9th house. Okay, more 9th house energy. You may have a desire to take a break or a mini vacation. And if you can, go and do it and enjoy yourself. Putting things in perspective, getting an overview of your daily life is highlighted. You could plant some new seeds now to broaden your horizons by travel, study, or spirituality. Okay, and these could yield considerable fruit later on. 29th of June to the 29th of July, Mars moves into your 10th house here, gives you strong motivation to achieve professional goals or get personal recognition. It's also about your life direction generally, even if you're not doing paid work. Okay, this will still influence you. Do watch for ego conflicts, especially with those in authority. Try to control or temper your ambition with consideration for other people. Your urge to act and to do so is strong, but be careful you are not rash in your decision making or rash with your mouth. Okay, because Mars can do that sometimes. And then we have 19th of June to the 22nd of July. The Sun moves into your 9th house. So it's a time for you to lift yourself out of the usual mundane life and look at the bigger picture. You may seek new vistas and broader horizons through travelling, studying, or reading about foreign cultures. Mature people with more experience, knowledge, and insight may come into your life. A teacher, psychic, or mentor may be particularly important to you now. 24th of June sees a full moon in your 3rd house, and there is transformation going on in your communication zone, or maybe study is on your mind. Could also mean that there's some sort of change in your local area around your house. Your communications could be coloured by emotional considerations. That's okay, we all have that. However, events from the past and feelings that have little basis in the present may also influence your thinking at this time. So do be aware of past history coming back, especially with Mercury retrograde. Everyone has these thoughts. Just know that they are sometimes better off left, things that happened in the past, leave them there. 6th of June to the 14th of July, Neptune trines Mars. Your desires and goals may become more elevated and idealistic now. You are able to see your work in a better perspective. And maybe you realise the value of your service as a contribution to society. You may read books, talk to other people, have other experiences that broaden your awareness of how your work plays an important part in meeting the needs of society. It's an excellent time to make changes in your work methods so that customers, clients and other recipients are better served. Your sense of spiritual purpose and direction increases now, and you may become far more aware of your life's mission. Any opportunities that come to you are likely to assist you in improving your work and directing you into channels that are meaningful. Okay, 26th of June to the 21st of July, Venus also moves into your 10th house here. Your career, social standing and reputation is highlighted, and you can be even more successful by making personal contact with authority figures. You can make a good friend or meet someone beautiful and charming through your work. And if you're not working, it's, basically what you do in your normal everyday life. You may meet someone there. Now is a good time to enhance your public standing and create goodwill with the public. So get out there. 27th of June to the 30th of June, Sun trines the Moon, and you could enjoy some emotional satisfaction and harmony in your home life. Relationships with women run smoothly. This is a good time to begin making connections with people, and also to discover what gives real emotional nourishment and fulfillment. And, if you do have a good relationship with your mother, you'll find it's even better. And if you don't, you'll find maybe there's an olive branch there. 28th of June to the 1st of July, Mars sextiles the Sun. Your energy is quite high and you can accomplish a great deal fairly easily. It's time to be independent. See, these are the themes that are coming up through your horoscope. Independence is important. Assert yourself in a positive manner, and a leadership role or an opportunity is likely to be offered to you. 24th of June to the 26th of July, Saturn trines the Sun. You're likely to be well organised and disciplined. Now your concentration and dedication to the task are very strong, and there are fewer obstacles than usual, so you can get a lot of work done. Progress is solid and steady. Use this time to strengthen your position in life. You will be happier within yourself, and the results of your efforts will help establish a solid foundation for your future. Okay, so that's fabulous. So even though there are some challenges, there's some very good aspects there that will really make a positive difference in your life. Okay, so I'll just close my eyes now, Sensational Scorpios, and see what I can see for you. Okay, I'm in this sort of mechanical tunnel that's going around and around, and I'm walking along. There's a path in the middle. So things are sort of rotating around me as I walk through. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. So this sort of mechanical thing, don't get distracted by the normal everyday things that go on. Just keep your mind on the prize, and that is moving forward in life. You are doing it despite all of this noise and clatter and these mechanical things going on. I'm not quite sure what that's about exactly, but all I know is you're on track, you're on your path, and to keep going and do what you need to do. There's a candle here with a flame. That usually is like holding a candle for somebody, that old saying about somebody in your past. You hold a candle means you still have feelings for them. That's okay. If you do hear news, or an ex does come back during Mercury retrograde, that's always possible. If they're going to come back, they're going to come back in that time period probably, because it brings things from the past back. And with those other aspects there that I mentioned, remember why they're an ex. Do yourself a favour. If you're going to remember the past, don't just remember the good bits, remember the whole lot, so that you can release those blocked energies and be free. Wow, I've got no idea what this means. I think it's somebody's grandfather. He's got overalls on, and at the back it sort of has these straps, and it sort of crisscrosses at the back like that. I don't know, but he's on his path. I feel like he's passed over. He's just sort of slipped in now, and he's on his path, and he wants you to be on your path. Okay, so maybe the holding the candle is lighting a candle for somebody who's passed. And although it is very sad, and it hurts, the thing is, they're actually much happier over there than we are here, generally speaking, okay, because they've got so much insight and awareness, and they're with all their relatives who have passed. So even for generations and generations, beforehand, there's a great big happy family gathering going on there. It's sad for us here that, we're not part of that at the moment, but later, perhaps. And so there's a lot of light streaming in now. So I just want to say that there is a lot of positivity and optimism coming to you, okay? Your hopes are likely to be fulfilled. Somebody's handing me a pink rose, which is about love. And it's a youthful kind of love. So some of you could be looking at rejuvenating a relationship, or perhaps you meet someone new and it's a youthful kind of love that makes you feel younger. Okay, so that's it, Sensational Scorpios. I hope you found it helpful. Please give this a like or share on your socials. That would be fabulous. Or leave me a comment. And most importantly, have a wonderful month. If you're new, subscribe and be alive. Okay, thanks again, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.